how Santa gets around the world on Christmas Eve. We have it. My maiden name is Rudolph, from one of the reindeer that Rudolph's nose, as well as the sleigh, has a Stanley FatMax in the back of the sleigh, right?
Right.
You got it, Howard.
If his battery dies, he'll be ready to go.
So I hate to tell you that's the secret, but this is the secret to a happy Santa. Howard is joining us live during Thanksgiving. Thanks for spending Thanksgiving with us.
You're welcome.
Love your wife, by the way. She's adorable. I love presenting these, and I told you this, Howard, because I keep my dad's memory alive every day, and I talk about him a lot on the air. And although he passed about 6 years ago, I hear him in my head all the time, and he would have so loved this item because, number one, he was an engineer. Number two, brand name tools are very important to him, and the Stanley name obviously is one that's in our home still, thanks to Rudy. But new this month is not just any Stanley, but the Stanley FatMax, which means they don't make one better than this. This is top of the line. And what is it? Well, it's a portable power station to start your car, to fill your tires, and if it's in your home, to power your electronics. And none of us need to be reminded that this is going to be a doozy of a winter season. But no matter where you are, you need this from Stanley. We're showing you a lot. We're actually going to slow down a bit and just kind of take you through a full tour. But I'd love you to realize that this is new this month, and we have 4 easy payments of $35.60. This could be the husband and wife, the mom and dad, or the teenage gift, because you have one in every car,
We
right,
do.
Howard?
We have one in every car. I want my wife to be safe because I can't always be there to rescue her.
And she's adorable. I'm glad you're keeping her safe.
And my kids.
Let's start about Stanley FatMax, because this is their top of the line.
It is. Well, Stanley's been around for 171 years. It's a name we know and trust. When we buy a Stanley, you know it's going to do the job you bought it for. FatMax, not as many people are familiar with that. FatMax is the name Stanley reserves for its top of the line, the most rugged, the most feature-packed. I always say it's like picking out your make and model car and then going buying the limited. It has it all.
Right, and we've sold 54,000 this month. It's brand new. Yes, it can jump your car. We'll show you that in a moment, but this is the only one that has a digital display and the only one that has so much more. You know what, why don't we go over to the car and start? Because this has so many features, and we only have about 7.5 minutes. But most importantly, my dad would be laughing from heaven, reminding of the time that I called him from Providence, Rhode Island. Oh, I'll go on the other side, buddy. And said, my battery died. And he said, yeah, I'm in Philadelphia, Janie. I really can't help you. So this is something that when somebody calls and says, I got a dead battery, guess what? You can take care of it yourself.
You can, and you don't have to be afraid. I mean, everyone's comfortable plugging things into wall outlets. And a lot of people might even be comfortable putting air in their tire. But when it comes to that battery and electricity and jumper cables, they're scared, and for good reason, because if you have jumper cables and you hook them up the wrong way, you can damage it. And you might look at this and say, I don't know which one's red, which one's black.
I'm not knowing where I'm going.
I'm going to hook them up on purpose incorrectly. I'm going to show you that the FatMax is going to protect you. It's going to let you know with a beeping sound and a little symbol flashing, the battery saying you have on backwards. So you just switch them. And once you have them on correctly, with the digital display, it also tells you when it's right. The battery status will light up and the engine symbol will flash. That's letting you know you've got them on right and you have a good connection. Then you turn the keyless safety switch right here to on, and you get in and you start your car immediately. You're not recharging your battery, you're jump starting it just like another car's there. And this has 1,000 peak amps. So your 4 cylinders, your 6 cylinders, and 8 cylinders. Cars, light trucks, SUV, vans, it's going to start them all right away.
If it did just that on a cold winter's night, or if you're in Florida, or you're in California, or you're in a place that's warm, sometimes hot weather is even more difficult on a battery. But I would just like to say my battery died just because it was done on a Tuesday in the middle of, what was it, like mid-October, when it was actually very, very nice out. So you never know when your battery's going to go.
There's not a gauge in our car that says you're about to run out of juice in your battery. Like your fuel, you have a gauge, but the battery, it doesn't. It just dies.
Peace of mind. So if it did just that on 4 easy payments of 35 and change, we'd be happy. But we all know that the correct tire pressure is not just safer, it actually saves you money because it's better for your gas mileage.
Better tire wear, better mileage, and safer. I mean, safety is the most important thing. And Stanley put the new SureFit tip on the end of his hose, and this just threads on, so you don't need a lot of hand strength to get on there. It just screws right under the valve stem. Once you have it on there, you power up the compressor with one push of the button. It's going to tell you the pressure that's in your tire, 28, and then the flashing is what you have it set at. This is adjustable. You can go up and down, and so you can set this to the correct pressure, and then you simply press it again, and it's going to turn on.
Right.
And it will stop when it gets to the set pressure. You don't have to worry about looking at those little numbers on a gauge or bending down and checking all the time.
Overinflating it
No
and damaging
overinflating.
the
So
tire
how much
or
easier
under.
could it get? And the Stanley FatMax is going to remember that pressure. So when you go to the other 3 tires, you just turn it on, and it's going to make them all for the same. Put it in your car. A month later, it's still going to know that pressure.
You know, I'm sorry we went to that tape because, by the way, Howard and I never walked back there. It just went off by itself. So, yes, it's going to jump your car correctly and safely. Yes, it's going to inflate your tires, but then it's got a whole nother life inside. By the way, you'll charge it up for 48 hours. It will hold that charge at the end of every 30 days. Just top it off because you cannot overcharge it.
You can't. When you plug it in your house,
mistake.
it's
but
fine.
look what's happening here. How much would you have spent for this last February when we were in the middle of an ice storm and we couldn't turn on anything? Now, I'm not saying you're going to run a blow dryer or a microwave, but what's great about this power system, it's now a power station in your home. This light, this clock, your cell phone,
the TV
a laptop,
right behind us, Jane.
The TV behind us is all working off of this as a power station. So we don't need to be reminded that this year is going to be just as bad, if not worse, than last year. It's already happened. I don't remember snow on Thanksgiving in recent years. And so now, simply by bringing it inside, and that's why I think lots of you are picking up more than one, maybe one to keep in a vehicle, or 2 or 3. You have one in every car.
We do.
And then one to bring it home. You can actually power devices when the power is out. Bonus right there.
It is. It's great for those power failures. But as you know, with the power failure, the power doesn't always come back on. And we talked about recharging it. Obviously, it's rechargeable. This Stanley FatMax comes with a vehicle to power station charger. So if the power stays out for days, you can put this in your car, plug this end into your unit and this end into your car, and recharge while you're driving. So you drive around, when you get home, you'll have more power to use. When the power's on, and let's say you're just jump starting or inflating batteries and you want to recharge it, the charging cube is built in. You don't have to worry about misplacing this or losing it. It's right inside.
Everything is kind of on
You can use
board.
any extension cord, a standard household cord, but
And
Stanley
Howard, we have
even
some
includes
questions.
one.
Okay, great. And we have some questions from customers. They're wondering, can they just inflate tires? Or if they have a football or a basketball or a bike or an air mattress?
It comes with the accessories. It comes with the sports ball accessories. It comes with the beach inflatables accessories, and even one for racing bicycles if you have one of those.
So here's the thing. It's not just for those scary moments when I have a flat, or my tire pressure is low, or I can't start my car. And like I said, we never know when that's going to happen. That could be any time. It happened to me this year on a balmy day in October, and it was like, it was just done. And I needed to get to Starbucks, so it really wasn't a pretty sight. I couldn't get my car started. Here's how it is, all beautifully wrapped up and ready to go at under what, $35 or $35.60 a month on Easy Pay. But it also would be great for fun times. Tailgating, maybe, you know, taking this out on the deck. You want to be outside. You live in California. It's really nice, but you want to plug a little television into it. This can be for fun as well as for safety. And this is our little chart, Howard, that shows everybody approximately how long they can run something in their home.
Right, you're going to get 2 hours out of a 120-watt lamp or a 60-watt fan. You're going to get 4 hours out of a 40-watt lamp, and 5 hours out of a 30-watt laptop or a 25-watt television, and then your smartphone, your clock radio, 25 hours. And that's important because you want to keep in touch. If the power's out, you want to be able to charge your phone day after day. That's one of the most important things people find is, I need to be able to keep in touch with loved ones, find out if they're okay, and if the power's not on, your battery dies, what are you going to do?
My dad, who was all about safety, would say it's great for safety, but me, who's all about fun, would say you need this for fun as well. Like, there's so many things to just sit in your car or in your home until you have an emergency. What I love about the Stanley FatMax is you can have fun with this. You can go tailgating with it. The kids can go outside and do a little impromptu like camp out, or if you are a camper, you can take it with you. Most importantly, not only here for your tires, not only here to power where you don't have a power source, but a safe way to jump your car.
And I know a lot of people probably think, I couldn't do that. I've never been under the hood of my car in my life. It's not hard, it's easy and safe. Pop the hood, find the battery, set this nice flat unit up here where it's very stable, even on uneven engine compartment, and attach the cables. And I said, just attach them. I'm not worried about if they're wrong or right, because the Stanley FatMax is going to tell you. There is. Yep, there is a light that you can turn on. You need to see what you're doing, but if you can't, plug it on any which way. The FatMax is going to tell you, this is incorrect. You haven't heard anything, you haven't damaged anything. You simply switch them, and it's going to tell you when you have it right. Now you know the engine symbol's flashing, the battery status is lit up. You know you can turn the keyless safety switch to on and get in and start your car and be on your way in 2 or 3 minutes. not waiting an hour and a half for roadside assistance, not asking a stranger, not worrying about jumper cables and do I have them right.
And to think of the peace of mind if this is a gift for someone who is a new driver or for someone who is an elderly driver. It doesn't
Right.
matter how old they are and how young they are. If they are driving, you want them to be safe and you want them to be able to get home. I mean, like I said, that story I tell all the time was true. My battery was dead at about midnight on a cold night in Providence, and I called Dad from a payphone. They even had phone booths in those days, and he said, "Sweetheart, I can't help you. I'm in Philadelphia, and that's about a 6-hour drive. We got to figure out something else." I had jumper cables in the back of my car. I didn't know what in the world to do with those things or who to ask. There was nobody around. So this is peace of mind. It's safe. It's smart. But when the power goes out, and now a lot of children are doing most of their work online through different school websites called Moodle, when they need to get their work done. I mean, my daughter goes to a cyber college university program
Right.
because she's a professional dancer. If she's in a timed test, she's got to get that test done. It can't be like, "Oh, sorry, the power went out."
You might think you have a battery in your laptop, but your router, if you don't have the router plugged in, you're not going to be surfing the internet. So you can plug the router in here and get on the internet and
So
finish what you need to do.
It's for safety and safekeeping. It's for peace of mind, but it's also all about what else it can do if you need a little bit of fun or if the kids are getting antsy because, yes, the power went out again. Just keep it topped off every 30 days. Plug it in again, and it's the top of the line that Stanley makes. It's called the FatMax. Howard, thank you so much.
Thank
Are you
you,
off
Jane.
to Thanksgiving dinner now?
Yes.
He's running out the door. Diana, keep his plate warm. And Jane and I will stay with you till 7 p.m.